He thought it was all over. A German fighter ace, surrounded by American soldiers, hands in the air, convinced his flying days were done. But what happened next? No one could have predicted, because instead of locking him up, the Americans handed him the keys to their planes. This is the unbelievable story of Major Karl Heinrich Falke, a Luftwaffe ace who went from enemy to ally and helped shape the future of aviation. It's early 1945. Germany is falling apart. The skies that once belonged to the Luftwaffe now roar with American bombers. Falk climbs into his Messerschmitt Bf 109 for what he thinks will be just another mission. But fate has other plans. His engine sputters. Tracer fire slices through the wing. Flames, smoke. He ejects and crashes into a frozen field, right into the hands of American troops. Falk braces for the worst, but instead of anger or revenge, he finds something strange: curiosity. His captors realize this isn't just another German pilot. He's one of the Luftwaffe's top test pilots, a man who's flown everything from piston planes to the revolutionary Me-262 jet. A few days later, he's brought to an airbase for questioning. Across the table sits Colonel James Harrington, a respected U.S. test pilot. The two men study each other, former enemies, now face to face. After hours of tense conversation, Harrington makes a bold offer. "What if, instead of telling us about our planes, you flew them?" Falk laughs. "Fly for you? Against my own country?" But deep down, he knows the truth. The war is lost, and a pilot without a plane is just a man who can't breathe. So he agrees. "I'll fly," he says quietly, but as a pilot, not a traitor. Days later, he steps toward a shiny silver P-51 Mustang, the same plane that once hunted him. American ground crews watch in silence as the German ace climbs in. The engine roars to life. Moments later, the Mustang rises into the clouds. When he lands, Falk's first words shock everyone. "Now I understand," he says. "You Americans build planes to last, not to impress." From that day on, Falk becomes part of a secret program, testing American and captured German aircraft, sharing knowledge that changes how the U.S. builds and flies. His insights help shape the next generation of jets, lessons that will echo through Korea and even Vietnam. When the war ends, the Americans make him an offer: stay and keep flying. He accepts. For 5 years, he works side by side with the very men who once called him the enemy. Decades later, when his story is finally declassified, one line from his notes stands out: "I began the war flying to destroy. I ended it flying to build." He wasn't just a German pilot. He was a man who discovered that the love of flight can outlive even the darkest wars.